10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
My, oh my, is Hoosier Hysteria alive and well in Seymour, Indiana. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Janes, the Sectional 15 Championship. Number 3, New Albany, one of the nation's best players, against number 4, Floyd Central, the rematch of a contest back on December the 8th, in which New Albany got the win in overtime, 49-47. This is Mark Janes, happy to be joined by Jan Bozier. And Jan, you and Greg Rakestraw got the proverbial primed last night with an outstanding doubleheader here in Seymour.
Boy, some great games yesterday, but boy, do we have the matchup you kind of thought might happen, and boy, you couldn't stick another person in here if you possibly could. What a great atmosphere for high school basketball.
We are here with 8,100 plus of our closest friends and neighbors as you see the starting lineups being introduced to both ball clubs. Two vastly different paths to get here in terms of this sectional, Jan, especially games last night. Floyd Central had to hold off a tough Jeffersonville ball club. I thought the key in the ball game was with 5 minutes to go, Jeffersonville ran out of timeouts. That affected the end of that basketball game. On the other hand, from the get-go, New Albany was in cruise control of their ball game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I tell you, Floyd Central, and we're going to talk a lot about their defense. It's a 2-3 kind of matchup type zone. They're lengthy. It's so difficult to get in the paint. They give up just 44 on the other side. New Albany averages 82, and if they can get some pressure on the New Albany guards to get off to a big start, wow, they can put up points.
Romeo Langford introduced to the 8,000 plus here. He'll start at 6'5", the senior, for the New Albany Bulldogs with a record of 22-1. Sean East will be his backcourt mate, a dangerous shooter, 50% plus from beyond the arc. Derek Stevenson in the starting lineup, along with Julian Hunter and Trey Horrigan. For the Floyd Central Highlanders, they'll start Matthew Weimer, Kobe Barnes, Brendan Hobson, Luke Gorman, and Evan Nichols. Interesting to note, only one of their starters under 6 feet 6 inches tall. The coaches, good ones. Todd Sturgeon, longtime a collegiate coach, a sparkling 69-24 record in 4 seasons at Floyd Central. And how about Jim Shannon? All the years he was at Lebanon before he came to New Albany, his overall record, 542-241. In 34 years on the sidelines, 377-102. Interesting to note, Jan, he's only had 2 losing seasons in 34 years. Both of those came the first year he was at Lebanon and the first year he was at New Albany.
Yeah, there's so many storylines in this game. Floyd Central has been eliminated from this tournament the last 4 years, yes, by this New Albany Ball Club.
We'll give you a look at the end of the ball game a little bit later on in the broadcast, the one that we talked about that happened back in December. Again, 50-46, the Floyd Central win over Jeffersonville. 84-42, New Albany ending the season for Seymour. 18 straight losses by the Owls to New Albany. New Albany in the whites. Sean East will drive the basketball across the timeline, and we'll get this game underway. Looks like man-to-man to start the ball game. A lot of length, so man-to-man, step out, trap, help side defense. You can expect that. Langford's first effort is a no-go. Things for sure. Need to maximize your scoring opportunities regardless of who you are. Because of the length, Jan, of Floyd Central, they don't allow very many offensive rebounds.
No, they really don't. Rebounding will be a key.
Rough start early in the ball game last night. 4 minutes into the ball game, they were tied at 2 against Jeffersonville before everybody settled down a little bit. Interior defense lacking some. Deep 3 by East is a no-go. He was red hot early last night.
He had 9 of those last night.
Good strong move to the bucket. Matthew Weimer will be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line.
Well, this is Floyd Central's bread and butter. You talk at length about their length, and when they can get the ball inside, that is their game. They really don't like to shoot from outside. They'll do it if they have to, but this is their game. Get inside, get as many and ones, or go to the free throw line.
Weimer was 16 points last night, leading scorer for Floyd Central. Barnes and Gorman tipped in 7 apiece, but did not score in the second half. Got about 8 points off the bench. A rare miss at the free throw line for a Floyd Central ball club that's usually pretty good from there. Weimer hits the back half of 2, and it's an early 1-0 advantage. It'll walk up the timeline for Sean East. Again, Stevenson, Hunter, Horrigan join him in the starting lineup along with Romeo Langford. Baseline drive, Langford into double teams there.
Well, among so many things we'll talk about he does well, he really gets up, makes it very difficult to ever block a shot.
Quite a creator, no question. The folks at Seymour said they started lining up before noon today. The doors didn't open until 6:30. Good strong move in the post. Shot put up and in. Evan Nichols. Again, that length is not an illusion. Only one player under 6'6" in the starting lineup for Floyd Central. Sean East will start the offense over. Like the way they're pressuring the ball out high, Jan, making it tough to get into an offensive rhythm early.
Yeah, Floyd Central, you talked about it. This is not a defense that they usually start with. I think New Albany has to be the exception.
Stevenson.
There it is.
I mean, you know Langford's going to get his points. East, too. As they move through the tournament, I think Jim Shannon wants to know where else points are coming from.
And the more
he would be happy if he got them from Stevenson.
And the more of that he can get, the better for New Albany.
Great point. Approaching the 5-minute mark. Floyd Central, a very patient team offensively. Jan, they didn't go up tempo much at all last night.
No, they like to do high ball screens. The problem is you got to deal with the quickness of New Albany. They recover defensively so quick.
No question. Jeffersonville's defensive quickness caused them some discomfort, we'll say, in the first half last night. Look at that lane open up. A lot of contact, no call. Good strong drive, but he was denied. Langford.
Well, the key to that is he averages just under 10 rebounds and his speed, and he just took it coast to coast.
He elevates for sure. I mean, you can think that you're playing well defensively against him. He just not only gets off the floor with elevation, but he's just so quick. Speaking of quick, that's a good strong drive by Weimer. He has 3 now.
Yeah, Weimer recognized the paint was open. Great recognition.
A rare miscue by Langford. In transition comes Kobe Barnes. Gets him off his feet, and he's stripped.
Look at it. Let me tell you something, Mark. I think that's a great job of officiating to let it play.
Oh, there's no question. They let the play to its end for sure, and they were able to get the timeout and hold on to the possession. That's how important it is early. Take a look at the block by Langford. On the drive by Barnes. Good head and shoulders fake. How about the faithful from Floyd Central in mass here tonight, along with their counterparts across the way from New Albany. There are levels high in the corners above us. Once upon a time, media, band, etc. up there. Jan, you said those areas were not open last night, but they're SRO tonight.
They did not have those occupied last night, so not only are they occupied, behind us and every corner is occupied. If there's floor space, it's occupied.
Yeah, I heard that the phrase coined last night, I believe, over and over again. You guys, fire marshal full, and it is at least that, no question. And I mean, I've seen celebrities like Chris May from the Basketball Hall of Fame here, Tim.
Chris is definitely
I mean,
here.
you bring legends out like Chris May. Is he old enough to be a legend? I think I own things as old as Chris. Again, patient set. Floyd Central. Run of the offense. Winchell checked in during the dead ball. Gave him some quality minutes last night. He's a junior.
Well, last night, patience was a virtue for Floyd Central. They'll get a lot of passes and reversing as they absolutely need to.
But they're spreading the floor, but they're limiting screens. I mean, it's a lot of one-on-one basketball. There's a second chance opportunity and to get a couple of point-blank looks and come away with nothing. Evan Nichols with the misfire off the rebound. Langford in transition. They'll rotate it around. That's East from three.
Oh, yeah. Wow. He just took off where he left off for last night, Mark. He's got his shooting eye right where he had it.
As we mentioned, he's a 50% shooter from beyond the arc. He, along with Langford, provided the brunt of the scoring last night when the blowout went over Seymour.
The New Albany guards love to trap. If you hold that ball, they'll trap you quickly.
That's a good, strong move to the bucket. Didn't get the and one, but still Brendan Hobson's going to go to the free throw line.
I think it's a great plan, and it's the plan, quite honestly, that Floyd Central has used all year long. Take a look at the replay. That's a great intro pass away from the defender. But they got to finish a few of those marks. Going to the free throw line is a good thing, but the more of those they can finish and get and one, certainly a plus for Floyd Central.
Corrigan with the no-no and getting posted up. And not fronting him. That's a brick off the heel of the iron, and it stays 10-6, New Albany. Rapidly moving first quarter. Stevenson handling the ball a bit more than he did last night, and then went over Seymour. He, Langford, and East pretty much running the offense out high. It's a downtown three, misses badly. Weak side rebound controlled by Winchell. I think if you're Floyd Central, you'll take that shot. And again, it's fine to spread the floor, but everybody else has got to keep moving, Jan. You don't want to get stagnant offensively, make yourself easy to guard.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Rotation and movement will be key. Good shot.
It's a nice touch by the big man, Evan Nichols. 4 first quarter points for Evan. Pulls him to within 2.
Floyd Central does a great job of just getting ball rotation and finding that, making that extra pass, and getting the good open man.
Regulation couldn't decide it when they met back in December, so we didn't figure tonight would be any different. Nice floater, showing range. Sean East, 5 points for him to start. Back to a 4-point lead with a minute to play. Wide open.
Oh, that's
three.
huge.
Jan, I think I might be able to hit that. If I get a spot up for that long, I've got a shot at it.
I think he has to take that shot within the offense. Great look.
He didn't hesitate. Showed a lot of confidence in taking it, and that's huge.
Oh,
forgot about the defender down low, and Julian Hunter made him pay. It's a great look from the point. He just slipped behind the defenders. Everybody forgot about the sophomore Julian Hunter. Look at him thread the needle. What great vision by Sean East. And I tell you, he will gain some notoriety on his own from coaches at the next level with court awareness like that to match that shooting prowess.
Boy, great look. Kind of just hovered underneath the basket. Floyd Central kind of lost contact of him. He kind of snuck under there.
Barnes will direct traffic with 25 seconds left in the quarter. Notice New Albany bringing the defense out. They get a closely guarded call.
Good call by the official. The official ruling on that. People always think it's 2 or 3 feet. It's actually 6 feet, within 6 feet for the 5 count. And he was counting, and he did not pass the basketball. That's a turnover.
That's a situation where the defensive pressure will dictate the count, and plenty of it was coming. Langford sees the double team. Time winding down. East, deep 3. Goes up an air ball. Not much has been decided after we played 1 quarter of basketball in the Seymour Sectional Championship. It's 14-11 to Albany over Floyd Central here at the Lloyd E. Scott Gymnasium.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Enjoying the state finals? Help make sure the resources are available so that great events like these can be played forever by supporting the IHSAA Foundation. Go to IHSAAfoundation.org and make a tax-free contribution today. What a night for high school basketball. Sectional championship decided all over the state of Indiana. Danville at the end of quarter number 1 leading Beech Grove 14-7. Danville got behind in their ball game against Indian Creek last night at Beech Grove, but ran off and hid the next 3 quarters. Beech Grove with a big win over Manual. We'll have more scores as they become available throughout the course of the night.
Oh my!
A rejection by Langford, who's defending in the post. Well, that's the second quarter.
Mark, that's a reactionary swat. Sometimes you get to look and timing, man. That's just quick feet, quick hands.
Deep 3. No go. Luke Gorman with a misfire. Langford dribbles out of that double team. Good move.
Yeah.
Stevenson with 5 points now. 43% shooting for Floyd Central on 3 of 7 in quarter number 1. 4 of 5, 80% for New Albany. They were 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. Floyd Central hitting their only 3-point attempt. Rebounds pretty well even between the 2 ball clubs. I want to thank Monrovia High School sophomore Andrew Willett joining us tonight, handling the team stats for us. He's going to come and take our jobs one of these days, man.
Maybe sooner than later.
On the inbounds, Floyd Central. Good, strong move to the bucket. The finish by Matthew Weimer. 5 points for them, Jan. That's some scoring punch.
Yeah, that's a senior move. Nobody cuts off baseline for New Albany, and he recognized it. And the key is you've got to go up strong. Take a look here. He gets no backside help. And the key is, again, you have got to go up strong, and he used the glass.
Langford off the miss will go to the free throw line. Floyd Central struggled a bit versus Jeffersonville last night, Jan. You know, those 2 teams combined for 10 turnovers in the first quarter. I mean, it was not a picturesque thing from an offensive perspective. And again, Floyd Central will struggle at times against teams with a lot of defensive quickness.
I think one of the keys for Floyd Central is don't dig yourself a deep hole. That's not really the type of game they want to play.
Pressure comes. Good strong drive. The running one-hander. Tapped up and in. Good position down low. Resulted in the putback for Kobe Barnes off the miss.
Yeah, great inside position. Floyd Central with great offensive inside position.
one of the issues that Jeffersonville had, quite frankly, was giving up too many second and third chance opportunities to Floyd Central. But, Jan, as we talked about, when 4 of your 5 are 6'6" and taller, you're going to earn some second chance opportunities.
Floyd Central now kind of changing that to a 1-2-2-2-3. Call it what you want. It's a zone principle.
And it's interesting to note that it was Jeffersonville that was throwing the variety of defensive looks at Floyd Central last night. Deep 3, no good. Floyd Central controls the boards. When you shoot from the perimeter, as New Albany does, you have to maximize your opportunities because Floyd Central is going to control the glass defensively.
Yeah, well said. And long shots, long rebounds.
Like a hand check. Never have a problem with that call, Jan, as long as it's a consistent call throughout the course of the game.
Yeah, you set the tone. Once you start calling that, if you don't maintain that consistency, you can get yourself a little bit of trouble, shall we say.
Weimer with 5 for Floyd Central. Langford with 5 for New Albany. Leading scorers in the ball game, East and Stevenson have 5 apiece for New Albany as well. So they've balanced their scoring out a bit. Evan Nichols with 4 points for Floyd Central at this point. Entry pass. Nichols sees the double team come. He needs to get rid of it just a little quicker in order to be more effective offensively. Gorman will rescue him. Good ball rotation. Results in a good look by Gorman. Romeo Langford with a box out. The foul is going to be on Kobe Barnes back the other way.
Romeo Langford talked about it, just under 10 rebounds per game. Well, not only does he always seem to be in great position around the ball, and you get somebody like that who can elevate, makes him a special rebounder as well.
How different is this night and this opponent for New Albany, Jan? The start was 19-2 last night over Seymour for the New Albany Bulldogs. 7-0 run got it started, and it eventually was 19-2. They forced 8 straight turnovers at one point.
Well, the pace feels like Floyd Central, this is where they want to be, at least for right now.
I agree. Lob pass stolen away. Weak side help by Gorman. They'll run it up the floor. Got a little overzealous, but they're able to save it back in bounds. Wide open 3 by Weimer. No good. He didn't quite have his feet squared up. Didn't really shoot that in rhythm, and that's a missed opportunity. East Langford playing pitch and catch right now. Stevenson's going to join him on the perimeter. They're quick. There's no question.
Yeah.
Credit Floyd Central. Great communication on them switching defensively. Rotate the ball to the corner. Here's Stevenson for 3. They've gotten 8 points from Derek Stevenson.
Boy, he's having a nice ball game. Really came in focused tonight. A little bit quiet last night, but boy, he's been a great addition tonight.
And again, they work the perimeter. Floyd Central look for opportunities down low, and he carried the basketball. Dribble got up a little too high around the shoulder in the turnover.
Well, to your point early, Mark, they continue to dribble. They get in that double team trap. You can't continue to dribble with the quickness of New Albany. You have got to pass out of that.
Great point. A rapidly moving first half here. They'll avoid any defensive pressure, throw it deep in the backcourt to East. Again, Stevenson with 8 points. Good lob down low on the finish. That's the second time they've forgotten about Julian Hunter, and both times he's made him pay. Last time with the and one, he missed the free throw, but he has 4 now.
Boy, Central's got to communicate that lob pass. Just too easy.
Well, they've gotten 12 points from Stevenson and Hunter, and I think Jim Shannon will take that.
Oh, any day.
Knowing what he's going to get from Langford and East most nights.
Travel.
Yeah, they're just not in good offensive rhythm, and I think they're struggling a little bit with New Albany's defensive quickness, much like they did last night with the quickness of Jeffersonville.
Well, Floyd Central, quite honestly, right now has got nobody cutting through. There's no rotation. There's really not much movement to their offense at all.
Langford will go to the line for three. Brendan Hobson not in agreement with the call, but it's going to stand. We'll take a look at it. Yeah, I don't know. Our camera angle makes it difficult to see, but the official never, ever hesitated.
He just doesn't get rattled. He's been on this big stage now for 4 years, and he just doesn't get rattled.
Three guys that are hoping to be his teammate next year from Indiana University that are in attendance tonight behind the scores table. Having not made his decision with Kansas, Vanderbilt, and the Indiana Hoosiers.
We're short.
2 out of 3. 24-15 now.
See, just not a lot of cutting. There's a lot of spacing here, just not a lot of rotation.
No, not much in the way of screens. An occasional screen, but they're just kind of spreading the floor and maybe setting a high ball screen. And other than that, I think expected the defense to get a little lazy. I mean, Weimer looks like he's entertaining thoughts of shooting the ball for the perimeter, but passes on it. This is what they're deciding to go with, and at least this time they'll be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line, and that's Luke Gorman.
Coach Shannon not happy with defensive positioning there, really letting his team know that he didn't get the rotation defensively that he needed.
Floyd Central, 14 sectional championships dating back to 1971. They won 6 in the 70s, 8 in the 80s. They have 6 regional titles, a couple of semi-states in 71 and 89.
Floyd Central shoots 67% as a team. They've left a couple on the table here early.
Gorman hits the back half of 2. New Albany with the advantage and the possession. You just never know when they might elevate and take the jumper like that. Stevenson with a miss. Rebound will go back the other way. You're rarely going to be able to go over the top of a 6'5", 6'6" player and not get called for a foul.
That's a good point. Yeah, it looked like from my angle, and we're at a different angle, he went straight up, but there's a difference between behind the back and on the back, but it doesn't matter the angle of the official. It looks like you're on the back.
Weimer with 5 points in the quarter. So much defensive pressure, long arms to get a pass through. They haven't looked in sync offensively, especially in this quarter. That's a good move. Running one-hander is a no-go, and Hobson with the miss in transition. Langford will go to the line. That's another thing that he does. Anyone can shoot, but can you score? That's an example of a guy that knows how to score.
Yeah, and he part of that in just milliseconds, whether he anticipates anybody getting set. Nobody really was ever in a position to get set. He recognizes that better than anybody and takes it to the hoop. Was a little bit of a crunch time now. If you're Floyd Central, Mark, you do not want to go more than 10 down going into halftime.
Good look at Romeo Langford, courtesy of the good folks at ETC who are helping with production tonight, providing great shots along the baseline while our camera is perched high atop Lloyd Scott Gymnasium.
I think it's a big position going into halftime, Mark.
Thought about the three, almost traveled with the basketball. He'll try it for
that's
the win
big.
this time.
That is big.
I mean, that's in the rotation. That's in the scheme of the offense.
That is big. Especially if they can match it defensively and get a stop.
I think Weimer's had some good looks on that perimeter, and he might get the okay from Todd Sturgeon to start pulling the trigger, which will pull that defense out a little bit.
Absolutely. I think in the offense, if they can get that shot.
Langford with great defensive pressure. It comes into the hands of Stevenson, and the shot blocked at the buzzer. The attempt rejected, and they'll go to the locker room with a score 26-19. Big defensive stand off of a three.
That's a big-time block right there. I really think the last minute and a half, Floyd Central played really some of their best basketball.
Especially on the defensive end. And that last couple of series, from an offensive standpoint, the rotation was much better. After leading at the end of the first quarter, 14-11, New Albany leads 26-19 at halftime.
I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
This is old you. And this is now you. Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent, and now you can stop knocking on wood.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Let's be honest, it's time to update your Pacers gear, right? You know, your jerseys, your hats, your gear. It's time to gear up in sports in blue and gold. Support the team or your favorite Pacers player with all the stuff you love. Shirts, hoodies, shorts, socks, jackets, and everything Hickory. New gear arrives all the time, so make sure you're sporting the current look. Buy at the game or buy online at PacersTeamStore.com. It's just that easy. 2 places to shop, 1 team. PacersTeamStore.com.
Among the 8,000 plus here at the Lloyd E. Scott Gymnasium in Seymour, who is a guy who, while he is the commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, he's been nothing short of a basketball junkie this week. Bobby Cox, you just returned from New York City where, you saw 10 basketball games?
10 games in the Big Ten Championship. It was a lot of fun. My first time at Madison Square Garden, a great experience.
So now tonight, did you catch a shuttle in Columbus and have to take a bus here to get a place close? Or?
Well, fortunately, my flight was on time, which was amazing coming out of New York. And then my wife and I drove down, and I took the back roads to make sure I could get here, and it's a wonderful crowd here tonight and a great atmosphere for high school basketball.
Well, let's face it, the debate continues, as it has over the years since we went to a multi-class basketball system. But now, when you look around this gym tonight, you're smiling from ear to ear.
Well, I think it just shows that Hoosier Hysteria is alive and well in Indiana, and this isn't the only sold-out gym in the state. I've been getting reports from all around the state where capacity crowds are arriving and cheering on these young people. And so as I look at that, I think the sport is in great shape, and there's a tremendous amount of enthusiasm in our communities for high school basketball.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the changes in, I won't say direction, but the changes in focus from a promotional standpoint of the Indiana High School Athletic Association. You folks that watch our webcast and watch our telecast, you see the level of promotion, and we've taken a bit of a turn. We're not promoting individual schools or individual players. We're promoting the entertainment value of these student athletes simply competing.
Well, I think that's right, Mark. And the reality is that these are young people that are learning lessons for life in what we call education-based athletics. And I think people embrace that, and it resonates with people that this is an event, this is a venue, and this is a place where young people are going to thrive and they're going to mature into great young adults. And so we're excited about that. We promote that, and we really appreciate the support that we get from our fan base across the state.
Let's talk about the challenges and the mere structure of this tournament. Bobby Cox, the commissioner of the IHSAA, is our guest here at halftime. The decision that goes into selecting venues, I know it's a lot easier at the sectional level, but let's talk about the process in selecting those sites at a regional and semi-state level.
Well, as you know, at the sectional level, our member schools make recommendations to the executive committee, and the staff puts those recommendations before them and they approve them. When we get to the regional level and beyond, semi-state, what we're looking for are venues that have enough size and they have enough experience to host it, and also they've demonstrated over the years that they're financially solvent and they're financially prudent. And we're sitting in a venue here in Seymour that has hosted numerous Indiana State Championship games in our tournament series, and they do a wonderful job here. Going all the way back into the 90s when we were hosting games here. This is a tremendous venue, great supportive administration, great fan base, and so those are the things that we look for throughout the state.
We don't want to take anything away for the folks in Fort Wayne and Terre Haute that were gracious enough to host your state championships for girls basketball for a 5 to 6 year period there. Some changes were made to the athletic schedule as a whole. Now the girls basketball tournament back home at Bankers Live Fieldhouse, and I think that's proven to be successful. It
has been. We had a great crowd last weekend for our state championships, and there were two things that were going on here, Mark. Number one, we were playing our girls state championship on this day. We were playing it on the sectional championship night. So you've got 64 sites around the state playing basketball on the boys' side, and then we're trying to play a girls' state championship in Indianapolis or wherever it might have been. That's not fair to the girls. It's not fair to the boys.
Right.
So we made a determination to move the season 1 week earlier. That also helps us secure Bankers Live Fieldhouse because of the Fieldhouse's relationship with the Big Ten Conference and the women's tournament being there about 2 out of every 4 years. So we've eliminated that conflict. We now have a day that's just for girls basketball, and then we can turn our focus to boys on that next Tuesday night and start our boys tournament. So it's been a great change for us.
Now, I'll let you answer this as delicately as you care to, because I understand the great relationship the IHSAA has with Jim Delaney and the Big Ten Commissioner and the Big Ten Conference as a whole. But let's face it, there's some lessons to be learned for the IHSAA in what appears to be, I won't call it an error, but obviously now a situation with playing the Big Ten tournament. When they played it in New York City, they're going to look at it, they're going to correct it, but there's a lesson to be learned for organizations like the IHSAA.
Well, you know, we've been faced with the times where we've had to move our tournaments, and that's not a decision to be taken lightly because people get locked in on those dates, and it's tough on student athletes. I think what you're talking about in the Big Ten Conference, they really wanted to be in Madison Square Garden, but they were not going to uproot the Big East Conference, who plays there next week. And so they took that chance to play in Madison Square Garden. It was a great environment, and they had great crowds. But there's also going to be 9 days before they play again in the NCAA tournament or the NIT tournament, regardless of whatever school it is. And I think that's a long time, and I think the coaches don't like that, and I don't think the universities care for it. And so I think there'll be some conversation about where that tournament needs to be. A lot of conversation that it's on the Eastern Seaboard. It's not in the Midwest where the majority of the Big Ten is. The crowds were pretty good, though. I mean, it wasn't a crowd issue. I think it's a television issue, and an issue to play in Madison Square Garden was the driving force behind that.
Before we let you go, on behalf of Lance Scheib and Jan Bozier and Greg Rakestraw and myself, all of us, thank you for allowing us to be a part of this. We're just having a ball with this.
Well, we want to thank you guys for all you do to support high school sports and the great job you do covering these young people. And I'm really excited about what IHSATV.org is doing and the Champions Network. Thank you.
Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of the basketball game tonight. That's the Commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, Bobby Cox. Jan Bozier rejoins us in just a couple of minutes.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Welcome back to Boys State Tournament on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented, of course, by the good folks at Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Second quarter numbers. New Albany hit both of their attempts from the field. Floyd Central was 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 1 of 3 for New Albany, 1 of 4 for Floyd Central. Not much to talk about in terms of rebounding advantages or disadvantages. The numbers from quarter number 2. And first half totals, we should say. 86% shooting for New Albany, 33% shooting from beyond the arc, 42% shooting for Floyd Central, 40% from beyond the arc for them. And again, rebounding, Jan, offensive rebounds, Floyd Central has a couple, New Albany with just 1. Pretty even in terms of defensive rebounds, and both teams taking pretty good care of the basketball. They combined for just 5 turnovers in that half.
Played pretty well, I thought. Really the difference a little bit here is the fact that Floyd Central left a couple real close ones, couldn't finish there. That may have made a big difference, but I really like the confidence. You talked about it. Going into half, they've got to make some of those threes, and they did, and I thought that was big going into halftime.
Now we want to thank the commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, Bobby Cox. In just a couple of days, Jan, he saw 10 games of New York City in the Big Ten tournament. And where is he? Here tonight. New Albany, the home white, dark-colored jersey for the Floyd Central Highlanders. First couple of minutes, very, very, very important for Floyd Central. I know they had a bit of a surge there. Got a three-pointer and then a stop to close out the first half, and you don't want to let New Albany go on a run to start the third quarter. Floyd Central got pretty hot in the third quarter in that ball game against Jeffersonville, led by 15 at one point. Second chance point for New Albany and a rare one to Quera.
Couple of extra opportunities again for New Albany.
Trey Horrigan, the sophomore, with a contributor there. Had a couple of point-blank looks in the first half that did not fall. Trey hanging around the bucket. Good position. Nobody there to box him out.
3 white shirts, all inside position.
I mean, Langford East, I think Greg Rickstraw said it last night. Langford East and some role players, but boy, guys like Stevenson and Hunter Chandez combined for 12 points in that first half. I think you get that kind of productivity, you're tough to defend. Did that help come? Oh, that's a great look.
How tough was that pass?
The nice dish down low to Hobson. He has 3 now.
Sorry, Mark. You're talking about threading the needle. There was no room to spare in that pass.
Yeah, we didn't see it. I don't know how he saw it. Stretched the defense out a little bit, Jan, in an attempt to limit their three-point scoring opportunities. Rotating over a little quicker, too, especially on the backside. And that length can cause some issues for teams. Someone forgot about Derek Stevenson. This time he could not make them pay. Banged home a couple of threes in that first half. Pretty good turn of events for Floyd Central to start the half.
There's another one.
Away, and it's good. Hobson has scored. Back-to-back buckets now.
2 big threes for Floyd Central, and I think that is huge.
Langford. That's a travel. It's got to be. Oh, they're going to give him the timeout. That'll be the 30-second variety here. You know every word to your school's fight song, but you can't remember your agent's last name? Let us help you know what you have and what you need. Find a local agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. So a trip to Lapel next week for the regional? Is that?
That's where we're going. Should be fun.
I think you might see us back here down the road maybe for the semi-state. And then the big house, Bankers Life Fieldhouse. You know, I have a radio TV class in Monrovia, and the television voice of the Pacers, Chris Denary, kind enough to give our class a tour of Bankers Life on Tuesday morning. We're looking forward to that. We're going to see the production facilities and radio and television and visit with he and Pat Boylan from the television crew, and maybe Jeremiah Johnson. Good folks from Pacers sports marketing and entertainment. So thanks to the television voice and Turn 4 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, our good friend Chris Denary, for giving our kids from Monrovia High School that opportunity this next week.
Mark, I really felt like Floyd Central's defense here to start this second half has been really good.
They've extended it for sure, Jan, and they're not getting the open looks on the perimeter that they were getting moments ago. There's a hand up. This time the defense rotated a little too deep. Sean East could not make them pay, though. Bit of a break there for Floyd Central.
Yeah, Sean East has missed his last three-pointer attempts.
Weimer, Barnes playing pitch and catch. We've got a hold down low. Probably a good thing for New Albany because Evan Nichols had posted up Julian Hunter and was going to have an easy deuce.
Yeah, and Floyd Central did not deny or front him, and he really had an easy, nice look with a great intro pass.
Gorman's not figured much into the scoring act tonight. Barnes hasn't either, for that matter. It's been Hobson and Weimer. They've combined for 13 points. It's a good strong move for the bucket. He's heating up a little bit. Hobson with 7 now.
You can't get a better percentage shot than that.
No weak side help to rotate over. Nobody talking on the defensive switch. Suddenly it's a 2-point ball game after it was 26-19 to Albany. Langford goes to the bucket. And I think they're going to say he was in the act of shooting there and reward him with a couple of free throws.
It really kind of felt like, let's take a look at that last shot. See, you called it no help side at all by New Albany. But I really think that you're going to see Romeo Langford look to do a little more paint penetration.
Floyd Central's Todd Sturgeon is not happy with the decision to put him at the line for 2 shots. And the Highlander faithful not pleased with that decision either. .11 for Langford. 3-point lead for New Albany. Floyd Central with a strong third quarter, which mirrors what they pulled off against Jeffersonville last night in the semifinals.
We'll see how Floyd Central handles this 1-3-1 half-court trap.
Quick passes the key, but you can't do it against athleticism. The ball knocked away off the steal. And a travel going to be called? I thought they were going to get a foul on Kobe Barnes, but instead, travel is the call. Todd Sturgeon standing right there, and he's okay with it.
Well, a lot of different passing opportunities. Most of the time you like to get to the middle on that 1-3-1 trap. The one thing you cannot do against New Albany is pass over the top. They got way too much length.
See, Kobe Barnes, I think, with a bit of an error there, Jan. I think he forgot that the ball can go into the backcourt of the inbounds. And that's what the officials are talking about right now. But I think maybe they're saying that the ball actually was thrown out of bounds, and if that's the case, then New Albany will have to inbound it where you see they are.
And I think that's exactly what they're saying. Well, this time it's just flying by.
Yeah, halfway through the quarter. This game is moving at a pretty good pace. I mean, neither team got the bonus. And as we mentioned, the 2 teams combined for just 5 turnovers in the first half. And that's what you expect in a sectional championship. And on cue, they turn the ball over. And a coast-to-coast for Matthew Weimer, who's now in double figures with 10, his first points since quarter number 1, and it's back to a 30-28 affair.
Floyd Central defense has been solid since the second half started.
And New Albany has gone cold for the field. Defensive pressure, I think, can be blamed for a part of that, but they had a couple of open point-blank looks, we should say. Couldn't get them to fall. On the rebound, the officials talk it over, and they say Floyd Central basketball.
I realize Romeo can make just about any type of shot, but to your point, New Albany's not getting a lot of movement in their offense right now, so he's having to create just about every shot he takes.
New Albany extends the defense a bit. Floyd Central, a little pressure in breaking it. They'll load up for three. Rebound.
Got it.
Up and in. Off the miss. Who else but Brendan Hobson? 9 points in the quarter for Brendan Hobson. And we're tied at 30. Off the miss. Hobson to the rack. Count it. You're watching the 2018 Boys Basketball State Tournament on the IHSAA Champions Network. It's presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
I'm Matt Wolford, president of the IHSAA Foundation, and we need your help. We need your help so the youth of our community can develop advanced leadership skills. We need your help giving high school administrators and coaches the instruction and insight they need to be better role models and teachers. To learn more or to make a tax-deductible contribution, go to IHSAAfoundation.org. You'll not only be contributing to the foundation of the IHSAA, you'll be contributing to the foundation of our community.
Well, Jan, here they come. Tied at 30, Floyd Central and New Albany.
Well, I got to tell you, this has a lot of look and feel of the first time these two ball clubs got together. Floyd Central was able to control the tempo. Still again tonight, this is a pace and a score, and which is exactly where Floyd Central wants to be. Their defense has been aggressive. Now all of a sudden, they're crashing the boards. A lot of energy I see out of Floyd Central.
11-4, the run in the quarter, which is like they did to Jeffersonville last night in the third quarter, in which they bumped the lead out to 15. New Albany 0 of 3 from beyond the arc, Jan, and 1 of 3 from two-point range in the quarter. Meanwhile, Floyd Central is 84% from the field in that quarter.
Sean East has went cold. Let's see if he can get his touch back. Yes, wow. He does. How's that for on cue? That's big.
That's quite an answer. You may have heard us giving the statistical numbers there. Back to a three-point advantage for New Albany. You get the feeling this one is just a long, long way from being decided. It's amazing how evenly matched these teams are, and yet their approach is so very different, Jan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Completely. Oh, that's offensive. Yeah, you got that outside arm, and you led, and every official, or most officials, going to call that. I agree with that call.
Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, he pushed off.
Look at the outside arm. No doubt about it.
Yeah. I don't know that there was as much contact there as Hunter made it look, but anytime you club somebody up the side of the head with your free arm, you're probably going to get called for a foul. Closing minutes of period number 3. Boy, he's loading up all the time. Loading up all the time. Scores at just about 18 points per contest. Does not grab the headlines, but is a deadly shooter. As we've mentioned, shoots better than 50%. He thought about it. Look at that from the elbow. That's a good look. It just didn't go.
Great hustle
play. Stevenson, the 3.
We got bodies everywhere.
That's a good, strong rebound by Hobson. Almost lost it thanks to the pressure by Langford. Floyd Central pushing the pace to the rack and one. Hobson with 11 points in the quarter.
Well, right now, Brandon Hobson is the difference maker, taking it to the hoop. Great. How can you get a better percentage shot than that one, Mark?
1 point lead for the Bulldogs. Jim Shannon barking out signals from the sidelines. Langford stares down the double team. Stevenson used the arm to clear some room and got away with the call there. Down to about 6, you'll see him start to create here. Like that.
And did he ever?
13 for Langford. 3 quarters of basketball in the books, 35-32. The 2018 Boys State Tournament on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
This is Old You. And this is Now You.
5 wears his fire hat and coat in the wind.
Things change. Your insurance should too. Talk to an Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent. And now you can stop knocking on wood.
You know every word to your school's fight song, but you can't remember your agent's last name? Let us help you know what you have and what you need. Find a local agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Mark James and Jan Bozier here at the Lloyd E. Scott Gymnasium, home of the Seymour Owls, at Jan 35-32 after 3 quarters of basketball. I think that was a big quarter for Floyd Central.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I thought Brandon Hobson was outstanding in his effort to really get a dribble drive to the hoop, and he was a difference maker offensively. And once again, I just got to think that Romeo Langford has got to get some more dribble drives. Unless you get in front of him, almost impossible to stop.
Hobson with 11 points, Weimer with 10, Romeo Langford with 13, East and Stevenson with 8 apiece. Hunter and Horgan have chipped in, but neither of them scored. We'll take that back. Horgan had a bucket in the 3rd quarter for New Albany. Again, this one went overtime back in December. Floyd Central got that win. Unforced error.
Not timely for an unforced error. That one's tough for Floyd Central. Boy, here you are, just right at 3. Let's see if they can escape with no damage here.
Again, not a big test for New Albany last night. Forced 8 turnovers early, 19-2 start. East was deadly from 3. 18 straight wins over Seymour. And they've gotten 4 points from Trey Harriman in this second half. And he bumps the lead up to 37-32.
So New Albany makes Floyd Central pay for the unforced error. Oh, no.
Illegal screen in the corner. New Albany was 8 of 12 from the field and 9 of 16 for Floyd Central. 1 of 5 from beyond the arc for New Albany. 4 of 9 for Floyd Central. Offensive rebounds were even at 4 apiece. Defensive rebounds at 6 and 8. The two teams combined for 10 turnovers so far through the ball game.
We'll see if New Albany, they're going to call timeout here, Mark.
Floyd Central did not go to the free throw line. And while they take a timeout, we will too, here on the IHSAA Champions Network, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Be honest, it's time to update your Pacers gear, right? You know, your jerseys, your hats, your gear. It's time to gear up in sports in blue and gold. Support the team or your favorite Pacers player with all the stuff you love. Shirts, hoodies, shorts, socks, jackets, and everything Hickory. New gear arrives all the time, so make sure you're sporting the current look. Buy at the game or buy online at PacersTeamStore.com. It's just that easy. 2 places to shop, 1 team. PacersTeamStore.com.
End of the 3rd quarter at Beech Grove High School. It's 42-39 in favor of Danville. Good crowd hanging off the rafters there. Nothing like sectional championships, I'll tell you. Gyms are packed all over the Hoosier State tonight.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
North Vermilion leading Rockville 38-14 at the end of the third quarter. 38-14, that's a right score. That's a football score.
Well, New Albany has had 2 poor possessions, or Floyd Central, I should say, has had 2 poor possessions, and New Albany made them pay on the first. Let's see if they can pay here on the second.
To a sectional at Paoli after 3. Austin 36, Clarksville 36. That's a good one tied. 36 all after 3. This one, 6.5 to play. It's a good one as well. New Albany with the advantage in the basketball. I like what Stevenson has given them tonight. Julian Hunter has played well in spots for him. Horgan's been a force around the bucket as well for New Albany. Giving him some quality minutes in the paint. New Albany content to be patient. Good look, good penetration. Double-digit score is Sean East.
So New Albany makes 2 turnovers pay against Floyd Central. Now they're going to have to make that up somehow.
That's a big stat, Jan, when you get to start talking about points off turnovers. This is a big 3. Foul on the rebound, I believe, is going to go against New Albany. That's a huge, huge break for Floyd Central. I think we're going to put that on Julian Hunter. That's a point-blank look. Yeah. A little bit of a shove there in the middle of the back. It's
I'm like you. I did not see it at first, but that's a good replay. Clearly, he was pushed in the back.
New Albany 14-11 to the end of 1, 26-19 at halftime. A bit of a surge by Floyd Central in period 3. Close the gap to 3. 52 sectional championships in the storied history of New Albany, dating all the way back to 1925. They won 9 in a row in the 90s, 6 in the 80s. They won 9 in the 1950s, by the way. The only year they did not win in the 1950s was in 57. They've won 11 since 2000. 17 regional championships and 9 semi-state titles. They won the 2016 4A championship in Jan. They won a state championship in 1973 at the Assembly Hall in Bloomington.
I was there. I was there. Of course, I'm everywhere like you, but I was there. Mark, the winner of this ball game will play the winner of Bloomington South, Columbus East.
Last year, 25-4, regional loss to Castle. 2016, they finished 27-1, beat McCutcheon, as we said, to win a state championship. In 2015, a regional loss to Evansville Rights after going 23-3. Then a regional loss to Bloomington North in 2014 when they finished with a record of 18-7.
It just now kind of feels like every possession is so big. Oh, that is...
How about Luke Gorman?
Well, if you want to make it up, a good 3 certainly helps.
First point since he hit the back half of 2 free throws in the first quarter. And Brendan Hobson's going to pick up a personal back the other way. Got too much of the arm of Romeo Langford. I don't think either team's been in the bonus tonight, Jim.
No.
That's how good the defense has been. And I won't say the officials have been letting them play either. These 3 guys have officiated an outstanding game tonight.
Absolutely. Well officiated.
Stevenson in some trouble. Langford in a double team as well. He throws an elbow, gets away with it. Now a push is called against Floyd Central, and Todd Sturgeon not happy.
Todd Sturgeon wanted to, he thought that Romeo may have got away with a push off there. One thing for sure, it is loud in here. That I can confirm.
There is a bit of energy here
yes,
tonight.
Yes, there is. This thing's coming down to the wire, too.
It was fun watching them come in when they opened the doors at 6:30. I think it filled up, in about 17 minutes?
Yes, it did take long.
That's 8,000 plus, folks. Filled it in about 17 minutes. Good save by Julian Hunter.
New Albany showing some patience there.
Yeah. As I said, I think Floyd Central's change in defensive scheme to pick them up a bit higher has been huge, but just like that, the athleticism makes them pay. And that is the third time they've forgotten about Julian Hunter on the baseline.
New Albany, I talk patience. They almost put Floyd Central to sleep there. Got the easy one.
Good, strong move to the bucket and the finish.
Boy, Floyd Central had to answer the bell, and they did.
Luke Gorman now steps up with 5 points in the quarter. Takes the lead back to 4 at the 4-minute mark. East looking for some room, but he can't find any. Stevenson finally bails him out.
Well, the pressure on the guard for Floyd Central has really extended now, Mark.
They have extended that defense, and they've done so throughout this half. And Jim Shannon is not liking the flow of his offense as well, and the defense is dictating that quite a bit.
Yeah, no question about it. The Floyd Central guards were pressure, and then New Albany got really kind of stuck in the coffin corner there, and he kind of felt like he might be perhaps about ready to lose a possession, and at this point in time, every possession is so big.
Floyd Central wins the Hoosier Hills Conference with a record of 7-0. New Albany finished second with a record of 6-1. Jeffersonville with 5-2 was third. Bedford North Lawrence at 4-3. Then Columbus East at 3-4. Seymour at 2-5. Madison 1-6. And Jennings County went winless in conference play. As we mentioned, Jan, 3 20-plus win teams in this sectional. This is one that a lot of people circled and said, find me a better one in the state of Indiana. Three and a half to play. Official standing right there. Did not get the over and back call. Langford with 13 points and a whistle away from the basketball. Foul is on Floyd Central. That is their 6th team foul, so we may break that string of neither team being in the bonus here tonight, but it won't come until probably under 3 minutes to go in the ballgame. Dangerous position for East to be in, and Stevenson bails him out. I really like this defense by Floyd Central.
Yeah.
It's not resulting in any turnovers. An extra step for Langford, gets his own rebound, has it knocked away, and a foul.
But you can't give him 3 looks at it. Inside was Floyd Central, but they didn't check out well enough, and he had 3 attempts at it, or Floyd Central should have this ball.
You better get a body on him for sure. I mean, that ball was bouncing around like a pinball for sure. Watch it. It's just a matter of boxing out. Got a chance to put a body on him there, and he don't do it. You got to move your feet, can't reach. Langford showing his versatility. Looks good from the free throw line for his 14th point. Make it 15 for Langford. Bump the lead up to 43-37. Far from panic time for Floyd Central. However, the concern is how many more opportunities are they going to get to score because of the patience that New Albany is exercising offensively. Got to get rid of the ball a little quicker in a double team. Somebody is open somewhere. They find Hobson in the corner baseline. No good. Rebound tracked down long by Derek Stevenson. And a foul. I believe that's team foul number 7, which will send New Albany to the line the rest of the way with 2:20 to play.
New Albany did not allow a second opportunity shot. Floyd Central, they were 1. Got a little bit of that danger of the 3. You miss it, kind of a long rebounding situation. But more importantly for New Albany, they just allowed one shot.
Langford has now hit 3 in a row from the charity stripe, looking to get into 17-point range. Yeah, Floyd Central able to get second and third chance opportunities against Jeffersonville last night, which was huge in their win. Back to a 45-37 advantage, approaching the 2-minute mark. Todd Sturgeon wants to take a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 20-3, the record for the Jeffersonville Red Devils that Floyd Central was able to beat last night. And Jeffersonville, a really good basketball team. Joe Luce, 3 years at Fountain Central, a couple of years at Benton Central, 5 years at Marion, 6 years at Richmond. Been at Jeff for a couple of years. And let's face it, guys like Mike Broughton cast a long shadow at Jeffersonville with the success that they've had over the years. 37 sectionals for that basketball team, and their losses this year to these two and to Louisville Valley.
Yeah, they just had one of those nights where they just had a really kind of poor shooting night, but boy, they scratched and clawed and got back in it, left some free throws on the table, and just fell a little short.
I mean, again, a lot of time left on the clock, but I think the thing that concerns me a little bit, if I'm Floyd Central, is the fact that, as you pointed out the last possession, very few, if any, second chance points. Not to mention the fact New Albany has been very, very patient offensively, which limits the opportunities for Floyd Central.
Yeah, their patience has really used a lot of his clock. Now, I really think if I'm Floyd Central, I got to remember Brendan Hobson. He's had some great ball screen drives. Let's see if they can find him. I don't think you just start launching threes. You might get yourself out of this in a hurry.
Hobson had 11 points for Floyd Central, all of them in the third quarter, and he has not scored in this quarter with now just about 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Good strong move by Weimer. Came close to an and one, but he'll go to the line for 2 shots. But that's just the third team foul on New Albany.
Yeah. But I like the design, exactly what Floyd Central did there. They're going to say he's shooting here. And, yeah, pretty good call. But I think this is the right way to do it. Get the clock stopped. Got to hit your free throws now, Mark. Oh, my. It is flat out crunch time now. You have got to make free throws.
No question. When you've got the clock stopped, your opponent gives you an opportunity to get to the free throw line. You simply have to take advantage of it. He gets the back half of one there, has 11 now, and it's 45-38. New Albany with the basketball. Now look at Hobson. He's D'ing up before the whistle's ever blown. Foul away from the basketball to the inbounds, and the advantage for Floyd Central, Jan, being the fact that you get a chance to commit the foul without any time going off the clock.
Yeah, and they're going to see if they can maybe make up a couple possessions here. New Albany controls their destination if they can make free throws.
And you didn't foul Sean East or Romeo Langford.
Work to perfection. You get a possession out of that.
Stevenson with the miss. 45-38. No reason to rush here. Weimer going to force it up, get it blocked. And a foul on Langford. And again, they have a couple to give. That's just a 14 foul. And all you're accomplishing right now, if you're Floyd Central, is burning clock.
Yep.
And that's exactly what New Albany wants you to do, burn the clock without scoring.
No, can't take a lot of time here either.
They've extended the defense. There's a deep three. No go. Rebound. No good, but it'll result in a trip to the free throw line. There's a second chance opportunity.
Maybe the smallest guy on the court.
For Floyd Central. Gabe Shireman.
Oh, another miss.
Yeah, that's now one of 3. The last 2 trips to the free throw line.
Well, they'd have this thing back to a 2-possession game. Have they hit free throws? Got to hit this. Got to hit it. They do.
So 2 of 4 from the free throw line. 2-possession game. Langford called for the travel. Good call because Sharman, I don't think, moved. It's a big exchange. I don't think there was as much contact there.
There wasn't much contact there at all. First or second glance. Sometimes your eyes can be a little bit deceived. I just didn't see much. I have to agree with the call.
Weimer with a crossover, the move to the bucket, the scoop.
Oh, he got it.
If there is an Achilles heel of New Albany, Jan, they don't rotate over defensively.
No. And that's exactly what I talked about early. For them to get back in, dribble drive because of that issue. Great drive by Weiner.
8 points in the first quarter. He didn't score again till the third.
Big.
And 1. 14 for Matthew Weimer.
Boy, Floyd Central's dug themselves right back into this thing. 1-possession game right now.
(45-42). Big bucket. Hasn't had a lot, but Trey Horgan stepped up big for him repeatedly tonight. 6 points for him, 4 in the quarter. Back to a 5-point advantage to the 1-minute mark. Deep 3. Short. Might have been a little too quick. The rebound to Sean East. I think you have to foul, don't you?
Yep. Under a minute now. Well, I'll tell you, did Sean East put on a dribbling exhibition there between 2 defenders?
He was in danger of being trapped, and he flipped him behind his back just across the mid-court stripe to avoid the double team. And missed the free throw.
You got to think when it's all said and done, both teams have left some important free throws on the table here.
I know coaches set aside time in practice, but I mean, it's a commitment you got to make outside of that.
Well, he missed them both.
Ball loose on the floor. Timeout.
That's New Albany's
taken
ball.
By
they called timeout? Oh, I thought they had the jump ball.
Yep. Barnes was able to gain possession, and it looks like that they're going to take a 30-second timeout. Let's take a look at the last time these two teams were together. It's the final play of the ball game, and it does not go. And how about Floyd Central with the overtime win, and their fans start to celebrate back in December.
That was a special night. We were there to cover that. Another absolute fire marshal, full gymnasium, and Floyd Central able to pull that one out, the one and only loss for New Albany.
So 54 seconds left in the ball game. 47-42. Floyd Central with the basketball. Gabe Sharman, Nick Winchell among those of the game. I gotta think they're going to help with the ball handling, maybe the three-point shooting a bit. They'll put it in the hands of Weimer. Darren Starks put in defensive substitution for Coach Shannon's ball club. Again, a two-possession game, so no reason to panic here.
A lot of time, Mark.
Weimer gets his pocket picked. Too much dribbling. Sean East gets fouled in the open court. That doesn't bode well for Floyd Central. Weimer was not open on the initial drive. He picked up the dribble, getting ready to pick up the dribble before he could. Nowhere to go, nothing to do with it. East picked his pocket.
Now, how often have we seen people dribbling get themselves in trouble against New Albany?
Yep. East this time is automatic after missing on his last 2 attempts.
This is big. This could make it a 3-possession ball game.
Those are huge free throws. 12 points for Sean East. The 6'1 senior, the backcourt mate for Romeo Langford. They've come up big again here tonight, combining for 29 points. Weimer forces one up, and he's going to be rewarded with a trip to the free throw line with a clock stopped and a chance at 3 free throws.
Oh, my. Jim Shannon's going out of his mind. He says, don't even get close to him. 3-possession game. Don't stop the clock.
What a heads-up play by Weimer. Honestly, that wasn't that bad a defensive move by Darren Starks. He tried to avoid him. Weimer jumped into him and got the call. That's a good heads-up play. I think when Jim Shannon goes back and looks at the film, he'll realize that Starks, quite frankly, did as much as he could to avoid that. He still won't like it, though, will he, Jan? Big free throws here for Floyd Central.
Got him. One more.
This would give him 17. He's carried the load offensively for Floyd Central. Trying to pull them to within 4 with 21 seconds left. My guess would be a quick foul. New Albany in the double bonus.
Boy, hit all 3.
Hits all 3. That's huge. 17 for him. Substitution for Todd Sturgeon. He'll get Hobson off the floor and bring Evan Nichols back.
Well, I think if you're Floyd Central, you go for maybe a quick steal and you got a foul.
Langford trapped in the corner.
A lot of time.
I don't understand why they're allowing all this time to burn off the clock before they. I mean, 8 seconds went off the clock, Jan, from the time the ball came inbound.
Yeah, typically you want to try to get a quick steal. You can't get it, you foul.
Right away. And they had a chance to foul Stevenson, not one of their better free throw shooters. And Sean East just hit 2 in a row. Now, he claimed it 2 earlier. He'll take a long look this time and miss it. Maybe too long of a look. So the pulse continues, albeit faint, as ball handling returns in the form of Gabe Shireman.
Key for New Albany, don't foul.
I think at this point, that's a great point, Jan. I mean, there's 13.6 seconds left, and you put Coke and pressure on. Don't make it easy for him to bring it up the floor, but you don't put a lot of pressure on either. Deep 3, no good by Weimer. Rebound controlled by New Albany, and I think they're starting to smell it a little bit. Starting to smell it a little bit.
You know, one of the things we haven't talked about is how difficult it can be sometimes to beat a team twice, especially a team the caliber of New Albany. This has been one well of a ball game.
How about 52 sectional championships dating back to 1925? Won 9 in a row in the 90s, 6 in the 80s.
Well, I think if you're Floyd Central, you have to look at free throws. Certainly a big piece of it.
Yep. Sean East in this stretch, Jan, if you remember, he missed 2 big ones.
Right.
But since that time, he's 3 of 4 and trying to go 4 or 5. And not much reason for them to play much defense here. Clock down to 5 seconds. 3-pointer by Hobson, no good. And that's the ball game. The sectional championship at Seymour goes to New Albany, 51 to 45. Some of the numbers for you. Individually, 17 points unofficially for Romeo Langford. Sean East with 14. Derek Stevenson with 8. Julian Hunter with 6. Trey Horrigan with 6. Contributions for Floyd Central. Good game by Matthew Weimer, their guard. 17 points for him. 11 for Brendan Hobson. 7 for Luke Gorman. 4 for Nichols. 3 for Winchell. Toby Barnes with 2. And Gabe Shireman contributed 1 point. At the end of the first quarter, it was 14-11 in favor of New Albany. 26-19 at the half, 35-32 New Albany at the end of period number 3. Before we get to the final, 51-45. And Jan, this New Albany basketball team proved tonight, once again, they don't need 30 points from Romeo Langford to be effective.
And they don't have to score 80 offensively. They have been tested every which way. They, were super patient. And I honestly, Mark, go back to the really good start. It just really forced Floyd Central to speed up a little bit more than they really wanted to. That said, Floyd Central clawed back, and boy, just some key free throws didn't go their way. But what a nice ball club. 8 seniors played their last game here for Floyd Central and won well of the season.
Interesting to note for them, Jan, on back-to-back nights, though, Floyd Central, their third quarter, their best quarter in both basketball games. That was the case against Jeffersonville last night. That was the case tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Fourth period, I thought New Albany's defense picked up in the fourth. I thought Floyd Central's defense picked up in the third.
Some of the numbers for you from a team perspective, 12 of 17 from the floor. For 70% for New Albany. They were 4 of 14 from beyond the arc. They had 5 offensive rebounds and 9 defensive rebounds, 5 turnovers in the ball game. From the free throw line, they were 15 of 22 on the night. For Floyd Central, 11 of 19. They were 1 of 7 3-point perspective, 57% shooting, by the way, from the floor. 16 at total rebounds, 6 of the offensive variety, 10 of the defensive variety. And they had 9 turnovers. All in all, a clean game, Jan.
What was the free throw shooting for Floyd Central?
Free throw shooting for Floyd Central. We're still getting the totals on that. But again, 15 of 22 for New Albany. They were 9 of 15 for the free throw line.
That'll be the huge stat that everybody will think about.
Well, it's been a great 2 days worth of basketball here at Seymour for the IHSAA Champions Network, and the game will be at LaPel next weekend for regional round. And I'm sad to report I won't be there with you, Jan. Darn it, I'll be in St. Petersburg, Florida for the IndyCar Series opener.
You're going to enjoy the sun. I'm going to enjoy hoops, but you'll be there in spirit.
That's right, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks for the semi-state for sure. Rick Vanderweilen and Heath Shanahan, an outstanding job handling the production of this. The commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association is Mr. Bobby Cox. Thanks to him for joining us. Also, thanks to Assistant Commissioner Chris Coffin for his assistance in this project. Andrew Willett, sophomore at Monrovia High School, kept stats for us tonight. For Jan Bozier, this is Mark Jane. Safe travels, everyone. The final score again, New Albany, champions of the Seymour Sectional, 51-45. This is Mark Jane saying so long, everybody.